Well, welcome traders to awesomecalls.com, awesomecallstrading.com. I am AJ Trader 7, and this is my Twitter feed, as you can see. This morning we had, it was a really nice day, as always, that we do in here. And today was a lot of fun because normally, as the moderator that begins the morning session, um, I tend to really, I start at $3 stocks, 5, 10, 20, and I'll move up to 100, 200, 300, $300 stocks. Well, today was really a nice gift today because if you notice on our pre-market list, I actually kept the stock. The only one that went over was really WIN and TLRY. Everything else was in the 20s and 50s and 40s. And what it did today, what I saw in the room was there's a lot more traders trading a lot more stocks because there was a lot more available for them to trade. And I thought it was incredible what we did in here today. And I want to share a few stocks that we did and why we put them up there. And so today I presented Awesomecalls the clients in here, the members. I provided, I believe, 15 calls. Actually, no, 13 calls. There's 12. There's the 10 base, and then these are my notables. And we're going to go over each one, and some of them it's going to mind blow you, and others you'll just go, that's typical AJ there. This is also my Twitter feed. It is AJ, the real AJ at AJ Trader 7. And these are the moderators in the room. We have quite a few moderators. I have currently in the Act Chat room, we have Jenny Moore, who is a great short seller. That is his Twitter feed. I have Raphael, who shares his time and comes in here, as you can see. I have Dave the Trader. He does not have a Twitter feed, but Dave the Trader is a phenomenal alert. He's like his own alert service. If we could subscribe to Dave the Trader, it's in the room. So I mean, he's just an amazing alert. He gives us just bona fide great alerts. He's been with us over, I think, almost 2 years now. We have B Trades. He is our scan alert and small cap. I just noticed he's a police officer too. Wow, didn't know that. Well, all right, awesome. And but he is a small cap trader, and he trades everything, but his scans pick up some really hot stuff that we like to trade in the morning on $5, $10 stocks and so forth. And then, of course, we have Brad Norman of Fire Trader 05, and he is just an incredible. I'm going to show you, we're going to highlight one of his trades that he gave today in the room. Phenomenal trader, and this trade alone will show you just how great he is. And, of course, we have the great option chat room. We have the great stock hunter, which is Levi. He's just phenomenal, as everyone knows. Just killing it over there in the chat room. And congratulations to his CGC swing trade he did. He was up $30,000. I think this morning he was up at almost $34,000. So I know he took some. And of course, you've got a great moderator, Jamie. He's been on the option side, incredible trader. You can see he loves the room. Awesomecallstrading.com. I love you, Jamie. Thank you so much for that. And then you have Christian right here. Christian's a great trader. Option side again, just phenomenal. I think he's underfollowed. I think you can learn a lot from him. Sometimes he comes in our room and he will talk and screen share. Then you have $10. He's an 8-year option trader. Trades with Levi in the option room. I think he's underfollowed as well. And then of course we have Darkside. Darkside's a phenomenal trader. He's not a big on tweeting. It's just not what he does. He's just a very great trader, and you can tell just the way he takes over a room, and he comes in here and with Jenny during midday, he goes over his charts and what he sees, and social media is not his thing, but in the room he's just phenomenal as a trader. Really proven trader. Got a good feel of the market, and that's what we're looking for. And he actually shares most of his time in our room, so I'm very grateful for that, as always. So we have about 12 moderators, and we're growing. We're looking for a couple more, and we love taking a trader. And of course, we want to also give a shout out to the great PSK. PSK is a phenomenal trader in our room as well. And every morning, if you're not following PSK, you really need to. His feed alone will put money in your pocket. This is PSK. His name is Jason, and he does these webinars as well. And also, he just his mindset of his feed is phenomenal, and he is so underfollowed. So if you're following me, you need to follow him. He needs to be part of your, of course, you can see I'm following him. So, okay. And he is definitely an up-and-comer, and he trades full-time, and really proud that he trades in our room. All right, we're going to go over today's pre-market list. In today's list, we had NK, COM, Fossil, PTLA, Croc, Zayo, Roku, Carvana, Win, Cyber, Prego, Alarm, and TLRY. So I'm going to start the day, this webinar with, I'm going to start with TTWO. This was actually not my trade, although I am jealous that it wasn't, but that's okay. This was just a wonderful trade presented by Fire in our room, and just so they had good earnings, but what happened was they had a massive sell-off because there was a lot of profit taking going on in the morning, more than the normal. And instead of just gap filling, the stock actually pulled an extra almost $10 below Friday's close, or I'm sorry, Wednesday's close. And boy, if the Great Fire did not pick this up this morning, this was just a phenomenal trade. He actually went long 119 in the chat room and added on weakness, and he simply, and we're going to do a chart tonight, and I'm going to make sure that Sergio, our administrator, kind of shows you his entries and where he walked, and he literally walked it up 7 points in the room, and then he was done for the day. It was, I did 200 shares as 1,400. He took money along the way. He was guiding us. He was helping us. He just kept working the trade up, and he just kept saying where it would go, and he actually wrote, he saw the stock going to 126.50. And if you notice, it hit 126.88. Just a great trade, needs to be acknowledged. And if you're not following Fire Trader 05, you need to. This was just a phenomenal trade. Okay. And the next trade that we did today was TLRY. This was a fun trade today. In pre-market notes, I had determined that there would be a nice sell-off. As you all know, sessions in yesterday's webinar, sessions stepped down, and it just made the pop world just explode. And this morning, or this afternoon, I believe, our president is looking for another attorney general, but maybe not. He made a comment, maybe not as favorable on the pot side, so that is hurting the pot industry today. So it's kind of an up and down yo-yo, though. But the way we traded this today, I think I really want to share with you these pre-market notes because I think you'll really be impressed. TLRY was under our notable right here, and basically it was gapping down 9 points. I had this playing two ways. If it popped, which I thought it could on a squeeze because it was down 9, it could pop quick to 135 and then sell off. And that's really what I was looking for, just a small pop right at the open towards 135. And you have to understand, I came in the room, and this was the very first trade I wrote. So I kind of want you to see what happened in pre-market. And then I had the stock go to 120. Now, I know you're going to all look at this and just go, there is no way that you could determine the stock would not only hit 135, but sell off to 120. Now, when I show you this chart and how I set this up for everyone in Awesomecalls Trading, I really want you to understand this is what I do. Okay, this is why people come to our room. I've been trading TLRY probably for 2 months straight. And as long as there's big range, I will trade it. And today, this trade I was all over it. And I want you to see my setup. So I said in pre-market or opening 135 and then a pull to 120 and then bottom curl and bounce it. Now I want you to watch the trade. Are you ready? Here we go. Ding, 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 ding. Now keep in mind, I already had written my notes in pre-market. So as I was writing, I want you to notice where the stock hit. It hit almost 135, and the opening bell, it almost hit 135. You see how the bell? So it actually hit 134.60. Actually, there's the top right there, 134.72. So I missed it by about 20 cents. Now I want you to see where it went. And within 29 minutes, the stock hit 120.25, and then it bounced. Now I know you're looking at this like, no, I'm sorry, I just can't understand how you knew that. 15 years trading, I have a feel for the market, I have a feel for these charts, I have a feel for these stocks. This is what I do every single day. And this is just one trade. So if you did trade this and you were able to just focus on this stock alone, you would have scored 14 on the down and another 14 on the up. So you would have probably made at least a minimum of 20, 25 points on this trade just by taking this trade. Okay. The next trade I had on our great list was a stock called Alarm. TLRY. Now I want you to take a look at this one. I love trading Alarm on earnings. I know this stock very, very, very well. And again, you're going to stare at the notes and you're going to just like go crazy. But I also want you to see how I wrote it up on the list here. Alarm was item number alarm. There it is, right here. This is Alarm. It was my second from the bottom, and I started writing. When I come in the room, I usually start from the bottom up. Okay, and this was gapping up 8 points. I told the entire chat room to start shorting the stock at 55. Give it a little room, maybe to 57 at the open. Don't be afraid if it pops, and take this stock down to 48.50. Now, if you've never traded in your entire life, you've never traded a stock in your entire life, and you came into our chat room, and this was your first trade, and you took 100 shares, I want you to see how easy it was with $4,800 buying power, $5,000 buying power. You could have made at least $500 on this stock. Okay? And I want you to watch how the stock, again, I'm emphasizing short at 55, room to add at the open towards 57, and take it to 48.50. All right? Now, why do I do that? Well, let's take a look. Let's see if I was even right to begin with. So here's the pre-market, 55 right there. You can see the 55s. Then you pop it at the open. I gave you room to 57, which is a 56 average, and there's 56. And look at the stock right now, $48.83. I'm currently 33 cents off where I want it to go. This is a phenomenal trade for anyone. Short, you can get shorts anywhere. You could have took 200 shares, 300 shares, 400 shares. And I want you to just to see the talent in our room. And I mean talent, okay? I want you to notice this gentleman here. His name is Scotty J. And Scotty J had his eyes all over Alarm. All over Alarm. This was his baby. And I want you to see, this is Scotty J right there. And he doesn't have a lot of followers. He's not there for social media. He's there to make a money. He's there to make a living. Okay, do you want to see his trade? How much he listened? 350 shares short at $56 per my notes. And he covered at 51. He made $1,761. He was done for the day. The entire chat room of Awesome Calls Trading had the same idea. All they had to do was execute, pull the trigger, and then they were done for the day. Okay, that was Alarm. The next trade that we're going to talk about is a stock called Fossil. Now this one, boy, I really don't know what to say other than wow. I think you're going to like Fossil. Fossil was a big winner in the room, and let me show you just a lot of traders traded this in the room. Now, my inkling was, now one thing you have to learn about Fossil is Fossil always sells the earnings beat. So write that down. You moderators in different chat rooms listening and taking notes to try to pretend you know more than us, go ahead and write that down so you sound important next quarter, okay? Fossil always sells their gap ups on earnings. Write that down. Okay. I know you didn't get it today because you're not even in our caliber, but I know you run chat rooms and you need to know this. Okay. Especially if you play earnings. Fossil always sells. So any pop at the open or anything in 23 or 24 was a short. Now I had this thing going to 21 and under, but I want you to see what happened. This thing actually just sold off. And when it was dumping, I didn't take any possession. I didn't take anything at 21. I thought it would just simply gap fill, and then we could bottom curl it. But what it turned out to be was an amazing trade. And once it bottomed out, I said it would go slow back to the upside, back to the 23, 24. That was the notes. So now I want you to see the trade. Okay. Now, again, you have to keep in mind that I've been doing this for 15 years. So trading Fossil is just what I do. But I also want you to see the bag holders. And the bag holders are all these traders right here that are holding the stock the last 10 and 20 days. Okay? And with the earnings when they came out, Fossil didn't blow away earnings. They did good, but they didn't blow away. They had a couple concerns, which created all these people for the last 10, 20 days to want to dump the stock. And that is why you had all these traders dumping the stock, which created, there was too much dumping and not enough buying at the open. And so what that did is it created a massive short sell-off. And if you shorted where I told you at 23 pre-market right there, and it added at 24 if it came, you were a huge winner because the stock just came all the way down to $18 a share. Now, I started a position at $18.90, and for whatever reason, I didn't stay with it, but others in the room heard me go off at $18.90 and started buying it. $18.50, $18.40, $18.60, $19, and then once it curled and broke the pattern and got through right there at 19, I told the chat room, I see 23 on the stock. And that's really what I wanted. I figured it would come to 21 and then curl to 23. But this thing just gave us more money to the downside. But look where it went. It went right back up to 23. And I just want to show you, we have traders from all around the world. And this is a gentleman this morning that took the trade and doesn't have a lot of money in his account. And he doesn't need to. And he took the trade. And I'll show you his screenshot right here. And Mr. Salim, and he made $365. Just playing, 75 shares, 100 shares. You didn't have to trade very much. And you don't need a lot of buying power to make a stock like that. This is just one trade that he got to pick. And when he heard $23, he was all over it. So, and as you can see, the stock went up to $23. Okay. Really good trade. The next stock that we took on our great list, so let me write that down. I have to write them down. I'm writing them down so that way we have them listed. So that was Fossil. The next one that we had was Carvana. I want you to look at Carvana here. Now, Carvana is a fun stock. I want you to look at this one. This is item number 8. Again, earnings. I love earnings. I love earnings. Now, this was gapping up 9 points, all right? But I felt that we could, if there was any squeeze, don't worry, go short. The stock's going to pull at the open to 50 and under. Okay, I am adamant. The stock is going to pull to 50 and under. And then it will go up. Now, a lot of you are going to sit here and go, dude, seriously, no way. All right, well, that's because I've been trading for 15 years. So it allows a trader to know that, hey, look, don't worry. If you can't short the stock, wait for the 50 and under and go long. You're going to bounce it, and you're going to probably get back for, and I said 4 to 6 points. So let's read it. All right, gapping up, any push at the open, add to your short, gap fill to 15 under. They beat big, so in my opinion, this will not fully gap fill, but rather pop hard at open, pull back 4 to 6 points. Then we go long on it. Let's set it up for sure. I was all over Carvana. There was no ands, ifs, or buts this morning. I was screaming out Carvana, 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 Carvana. Now I want you to see Carvana. You ready? Here's the setup. CVNA. Okay. And here is the chart. We're going to put the overnight from yesterday. And here is how it played out today. So here's the gap up. I told everyone in the room to short the stock, give it room to add at the open, and take the stock to 15 under and bounce it. Now I want you to watch. Ding, 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 ding. Guess what? There's 50 and under. Now, how many points did I say you can make to the upside? Well, let's count it. 50. 1, 2, 3, 4. On that 4, I said you can make 4 points off the 50. Now look at the notes. See how I defined it for everyone? You'll make 4 points if you bought it at 50. This is Awesome Calls Trading. This is what we do. Okay? I know some of you just fell off your seat, but it's okay. Happens. Let's do another one. Next trade we did was a stock called Cyber. Now, Cyber was a really good trade, but it was a short to me. And I felt very strongly that we should start shorting pre-market at 85 and give it room to 86 to add. And I felt very, very, very adamant the stock would pull right at the open to 78 and under and then pop. Okay, so I traded Cyber for about 4 years since they IPO'd on each quarter. So I really want you to see how this set up. It was pretty cool. And what I loved about it was it just, anytime Cyber gaps up like a 10, 12, 13 points, it typically will sell off. Now, Cyber's earnings were so good, it's not going to fully gap fill. So I didn't want people to think that it would gap fill all the way. It's not going to go to 71 or 70. My ideal setup was that the stock was going to go to 78. And I was pretty adamant on it. And so I want you to see how it's set up. Okay, I'd like you to stand up on this one because I really don't want you to fall down on your chair. So, all right. So again, we want to short at 85 and we want to take it to 78 and we want to bounce it. All right. Are you ready? Here we go. All right. Here's the opening bell. Here's your 80 on Cyber, SYBR. And here is the open. And I want you to see Cyber here. So you can see how it gapped up 12 points. Scale in short around the 85 area if you can get it. Room to 86 to add. Now I want you to see the first initial bounce. Do you see where it hit? See that? It pulled to $78. That's what we do. Pulled to 78 and bounced right there to about 80.30. Then it sold off another shot, which most of us, if we wanted to do round 2, that's great. But for us as traders, we were just simply looking for that 78 and bounce. But it went to 76, and it ended up even giving us the same amount of money 2 times. And that was it. Now the stock is just grinding out. This was basically a morning type play for everyone to seize their opportunity on. This is just what we do. So let's write down Cyber. Now I'm going to show you a little bit of a cheaper stock that you might like. It's kind of a fun stock. It's called Calm. And a lot of you probably have never even heard of this stock before, but in Awesome Calls Trading, this is just another setup for us. Now this one, I read the report this morning, and this was just horrific. I mean, their guidance is just, I mean, you were at 25. I saw 18 all over the stock. I don't care what anybody's opinion was. This was an $18 stock. And I made the decision in the morning that, look, if any pop at the open, anything close to 23, 24, whatever, just short the crap out of the stock and take it to $18. That's all you need to worry about. So, and if you look at the pre-market notes, which is right here, COM was setting up right, I believe COM was number 2. And I was actually hoping it would flush at the open and then we bounce it. But if it didn't, I looked to just be an all-day bleeder to 18. And that's really what I was looking for, a bleeder to 18. And a bleeder means that it's going to just fade all day. If it doesn't pull at the open, then they're just going to set it up where the market makers are just going to sell off through the whole day to go to 18. So I want you to take a look at the stock, see how I called it. Here's the gap down. I called for a little bit of a pop, scale in short, and the stock hit $18.50. You could have took really decent size on this, 2,000 shares, 2,500 shares, and at least got 2 points. 1,500 shares, 2 points. Whatever you want. It was there for the taking. And so that was a nice trade. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And maybe we can do, we got Carvana, Pergo. I'm going to do one more, but I won't do a chart on it tonight. I'll just show you the setup. This was Pargo. And I think you'll like this trade. Basically, the earnings were off today, but the gap down was pretty significant this morning off the morning call from 75, and they were gapping down pre-market. You could see, I mean, it just really sold off in pre-market all the way down to 64. So what I did is I made a call. I basically said that, and I was writing this in pre-market, if you see 63 to 64, go long the stock. The stock will bounce about to 68, maybe 69 if we're lucky, and then the stock will sell back off to 64 and $63. This was, again, written before the market even opened, okay? This was already predetermined. So all you had to do was follow how it was setting up. So I want you to look at the notes, okay, on PRGO. The stock was down here under notables. And here we are, gapping down 9. I like to see a little bit more of a sell-off to 63, 64. Now, again, this is my third note this morning in pre-market. So the stock was sitting at 65. When I was doing the notes, it started to sell off. And then I said it would bounce 4 points, 4 to 5, which is 68 to 69 on the bounce. All right? And that's really what I want to touch. And you can see my 69 that I wanted right here. Right there, 69 touch. All right, so now let's take a look at the stock. And here is the opening bell. Here's pre-market. I was writing the note right here, and guess what happened? It went right to 64. Then traders started to go long in pre-market at the open when it pulled, and the stock went all the way to $68.50. I was calling for the stock to go to 68 to 69, which is 68.50. And then I said the stock would sell right back off to 63 to 64. And it's at 63.50. Welcome to Awesomecallstrading.com. This is what we do. So with that being said, we're going to do charts tonight. Will be TLLY, ALRM, Fossil, CVNA, TWLO, Cyber, and COM. Pargo, I'll just mention. So, again, when you walk into our room, our great chat room, Janny will be already on the mic, on screen share, along with Darkside. And what I do is I come in the room, I log in, I say good morning to everyone, I say good morning to the mods, and I begin writing this. Just like an analyst does on a reading, this is an analyst report from Fly on the Wall, just like an analyst does a rating on a stock, and they give you the reasons and where the stock should go and where you should buy and what they're reiterating and the reasons. Awesome Calls Trading has taken that same concept But what I do is I take 12 different individual stocks, and I tell traders each one how to trade each stock, what to look for, what your entries, what your exits, and the end result is you have traders that make money all day, and they retweet, they tweet their numbers, they they're proud members of the room. I mean, Ozark, just a proud member of the room. Um, People just love the room. Palmer does these wonderful videos. B Trades announces things. Of course, we have the great Stock Hunter. Just people love to talk about what they've done. Mr. Kim, he traded Alarm. B Trades gave us Ulta. Um, and that's just why you see tweets throughout the day, all day long. We get hundreds of them. People just love what we do, and they show their P&Ls. Because one thing about our chat room compared to a lot is we are very, very, very transparent as traders. We want people to see this is what we're doing because of what we have learned, and that's really important when you're trading stocks alongside traders. They want to see the results, and they need to see the results themselves. And you know what? For $6.75 a day, I think you can clearly see, if you're a monthly subscriber, the rewards of this room. So I want to thank you for joining us today on this great webinar. We'll be posting it later this afternoon, shortly after the bell closes, and enjoy. So thank you. I hope to see you tomorrow. Just sign up under awesomecallstrading.com. Click it, be a monthly, and I will see you tomorrow. All right? Take care. Bye-bye.